Where it should be ready to go now. Ah, yo! Welcome, Dakich. God. You're really early, wow. Yeah, thanks for good luck, man. Yeah, I mean, it's not really much of a good luck thing, this sort of chill out game. It's just sort of a really nice way to sort of end the day, really. All you have to do is just take in the awesome book. As I mean, this is technically a book, it's just, you can actually see what's going on, really. I'm very excited to read today because, I don't know if, no, of course it's going to be the case. I think the murder's like finally going to occur that was being hyped up so much yesterday. I mean, it's just going to be really interesting to see like what actually happens, and my god, especially when the scene actually happens, because it's not going to be a clean murder. No, there's going to be problems. There's going to be problems whichever way you look at it. Like, seeing those is just going to be really interesting. Oh, I'm really excited to actually begin this. Oh yeah, it is really fun package, and because the thing is, like, the literature in this is so good as well. Like, people who wrote this know how to write good stories, so that's really good. How's it going for you? Is everything going alright? Sunday. Who would have thought one word so meaningless could have so much significance at the moment? The fireworks I had before noon were probably to announce the opening of the festival. Damn, didn't realise they had fireworks. That's actually pretty cool. Hold up, I want to just see, oh okay, good, my mic's on. Right. Well, there certainly wasn't festival weather, it was cloudy. The television was cool with possible downpours starting this evening and lasting until around midnight. Damn. But as long as it wasn't raining at the moment, the festival would go on. The festival had to open or it wouldn't begin. The hooded shrine grounds were probably decorated beautifully for the big performance that only happened once a year. Many paper lanterns were hung up in all the inauspicious colours of red and white. The sound of electric motors at the stalls, the voices of the kids running around, their happy families watching them smiling. Today was the festival of the Tatarigoroshi. Is it me, or just like, you see smiling in that one sentence? That's just really creepy. I don't know why, that just feels weird. Oh, nice one. Oh yeah, is that the 70 star non-stop randomizer thing? Because I saw there was like a prize tag. Wait, no, I forgot, you were running the prize pool, weren't you? Because, yeah, is it like 200 quid for the person that gets first? It's something really, really big, isn't it? Is everybody already partaking in the festivals? What about Satoko? Has she forgotten her days of suffering just for a few moments while smart? You know, brilliant as well, she hadn't been so long. Oh my god, wow. Ah, so it's £60 a person. Wow. I don't know if I should see if I can maybe get, like, you know, a bit of the money. No, there's no way I'm good enough at speedrunning to do it, but it would be kind of fun to try. This will probably be the longest day of my life, but for real. It would be a day where I remember vividly for as long as I would live. Yeah. I thought my parents I'd go to the festival this evening and lunch back during the early afternoon. We may have lived under the same roof, but they couldn't help being surprised by the deviation from how I usually spent my time. Closing on my parents. Out of the corner of my eye, I went to the front door. Ah, right. Oh. Yeah. Well, I hope the event's going well. What's actually the best time at the moment? How good is it? Our time is just a little tighter than normal. Oh, of course. I always do that whenever I need to run, because then you don't have the fear of your shoe coming off while running. I've just to express the firmness of my resolve in those knots. When I decided to murder Satoko's uncle, I was in a state of excitement. I almost went crazy. Oh god. And when I was planning out the act of murder which went directly against all the morals fostered in me thus far, I was in such a state of calm that I thought I'd lost all my emotions. God. It's just interesting how much this has changed him. He hasn't even done it yet. It's just all thoughts and ideas. And then yesterday, when I learned that Satoshi had made exactly the same phone call as me, I didn't know how to describe the amount of feelings I had then. Now, entering today, right now, I liked all the emotions I possessed until now. To make up a simple analogy, it was the kind of feeling when you get right after you wake up and you're still half asleep and you don't feel anything very clearly. I know the feeling exactly. God. It's very odd. I had no idea that I was that man for the violence he could admit against Sadako. What? Nor did I feel sadness or sympathise with her. I felt no discontent towards my friends who had just waited and watched, never reading out the world of any help, and no nervousness or fear towards the day that had finally come. God, it is kind of sad to think, like, if they did actually wait for the day to come where they potentially got some feedback on, like, you know, the whole sort of management of the case, none of this could have happened. I suppose he's really just thinking desperately because it is an emergency in his eyes, so yeah. Damn. God, that's really cool. God, that must be really tight if he's that close to our record. Wow. I've never heard of that player before, actually. Is it like a vanilla speedrunner? Yes, right now you could tell I was the best possible condition for carrying out a murder. But for real, I mean, you would have thought you'd at least be just feeling a little bit of dread. I think he's probably so consumed in all of his anger and just bad emotions and like dread that he's actually sort of just forgot how to use them. And I think now these are the effects of being so consumed by those emotions. Like, he doesn't even realise he is being consumed by them. Really. When it came down to it, I would probably need to let my violent emotions take control. Yeah. right up until that moment, I would be like an insect. I would slowly and silently move towards my one objective, and then when I had my prey, I'd attack like a bullet. Oh fuck, bro, this dude's a snake. I hope not. There was no emotion in that. Just the weeping minds that insects possess. Sort of sneaking feeling was just the best. How it goes uncle like he was a worm. I had to laugh a little at saying that. I'm thinking that way, thinking like an insect. It is weird. I told him my lessons on one time and walked out of the door. Ah, right. Wow. Sunshine's always really fun to watch. It looks like one of those games, like, it's just... I'd absolutely hate to run it, but it's really cool to watch. Because the thing is, a lot of these games, the cutscene is the only thing that really ruins it for me. Everything else is like actually kind of alright, especially with Mario 64, for example. I probably would run it if it wasn't for the cutscene, YOLO, like LBOJ, Bowser 1, stuff like that. I brought this out of the front storeroom. Oh, we need to do that man's grave. God, I suppose it is. This apple was a convenient one made for camping. If I twisted it like so and split it in three, I could easily hide it in my bag. Oh, so you can actually take it apart. Oh god. I twisted this apple and dismantled it, and even though I'd done it countless times before, I had trouble for some reason. Like I was suddenly clumsy now. I knew why. It wasn't because I was nervous. My will tail did move me with hesitant. I suppose. It is kind of sad when you're doing something like this. You do have to be strong, even if you're sort of doing the bad thing, really. I knew the act of dismantling the shovel was the first step I take to becoming a murderer. The last twist was conspicuously difficult, but it finally submitted before the strength of my determination. The area around Sadako's house was outside my so-right activity. Now, you can't go around there. You can't go around the area where the victim literally lives and then kill him. It's just going to look a little suspicious. I mean, maybe it might not if he's just passing by and subtly looks, but it's still just too big of a risk. But even just riding my bike in the middle of the day like this might seem suspicious to an observant person. Yeah, that. Yeah. I definitely want to avoid meeting and talking to someone I knew. With that in mind, I chose the route to my destination carefully. I didn't mind going the long way around. With how long this day would be, I can never be too careful after all. Still wasn't it enough not to run across anybody on the way to the plan site of the crime? I wasn't superstitious at the point, but it was a good omen. The place I dig the hole was in this grove a little further into the woods. Oh shit. Yeah, I suppose. Shit's gonna hit the fan. I was worried I might not make it to the same place as before, but since there were no signs to guide me, but I arrived there smoothly and as expected. I took another look around, not even a hint of human presence. The air was a little bit damp, but it was comfortable in the cool shade of the trees. I took the disassembled shovel out of my bag and began skillfully putting it together. Then I stuck the tip of the shovel into a soft looking patch of ground and pushed on it with my foot. Wait, so... Oh, I understand what he's doing. The shovel would split into the upper weapons if I put some strength into that foot. The act of doing so seemed awfully like the point of no return, and it made me hesitate. But I think, I'm gonna be real, I think if anybody had the thoughts that Casey is having right now, it would be very hard for them to return, you know? Or like resist a temptation. Probably get mad. Just trying to resist it alone. I was digging a hole with a shovel, but it made me go hard. Calm down, my bad, Casey. Let's do a countdown. You can get it down on the count of 3. Okay, alright, 1, 2. I couldn't do it on the countdown despite it just being sticking. I couldn't do it on the countdown despite it just being sticking the shovel into the ground, and I had to count down 5 or 6 times. Damn, I'm just digging a hole this pathetic. If you can't dig a hole with ease, how are you gonna blooming kill someone? And when you say someone, you don't even mean someone easy to kill, no. This dude's fucking strong. Or at least, probably is the strong type, you know? As I thought that, I was strained into my heel like I was stepping on something unpleasant and split, getting a sharp noise. It was only soft at the beginning. The roots and stones quickly got in my way, informing me just how hard it was to dig a hole enough big for one person. No decent person would ever come here anyway. Maybe it would be enough to cover him up with some dirt. I suppose you could. It is kind of genius that, but the thing is, I was kind of thinking this yesterday, like, corpses, they don't just have no odour, they bloody stink. Like, eventually there's going to be a beginning to the story, like he thinks, like he always says. Every time a naive thought like that crept into my mind, I bit down on it with my teeth and dug even harder. I've dug enough now, I could have him like this. Every time I thought that, I would go down into the hole, where disappointed at how shallow it was, and then return digging. The thin layer of sweat on my brow eventually formed into drops and fell to the ground. My back was in even worse shape. My damp shirt adhered to my skin and it was so disgusting. Things I couldn't stand most were the mosquitoes. Oh no! Oh, of course, because it's in the middle of like some of the hottest parts of summer there. So of course there's going to be mosquitoes. Oh, that's a nightmare. Maybe they were attracted by the scent of my sweat of the white and black striped mosquito. White and black striped? What? I've never seen mosquitoes like that before. That's weird. They cling to me whenever I let my guard down. Oh god, it was hot, it was disgusting, I was sticky, I was itchy. All those uncomfortable feelings surged through me in waves. God. I mean, I know that he's gonna kill someone, but like, it does take something to sort of disregard all of those feelings just for doing what you think is right. But yeah, I'm not defending what he's doing, no, don't get me wrong. What he's doing is fucking wrong. Well, when you say it's wrong, it's like, it's wrong in a few angles, but it's right in other angles, so it's kind of impossible to come to a judgment on, like, you know, the real ethics. Damn it all. So, what? Are you telling me to back up and go? Is that it? I hadn't yelled at everyone, it was me telling myself something. Why was I feeling this way and digging a hole all the way out here? What benefit would digging this hole give me? What harm would there be on not digging this hole at all? Wait, in the first place, who ordered me to dig? When I thought about it over, maybe ever since grade school or even before that, my whole life had only been me doing what other people told me to. I didn't mean it was someone constrained, living a life just based on the commands of others. Well, it's interesting he says this, and I didn't mean I was too lazy to find my own road in life. Metaphorically speaking, yes, it was like a road. I'd never been particularly physically fit. I didn't have puberty very early, and if all my classmates and I got in a line, I'd usually be on the shorter end. Oh. My scores in jump rope competitions and marathons were the very picture of average. And it wasn't like the captains of dodgeball teams would have a passion over rock, paper, scissors contest to see which would get me. Oh yeah. Bro, that is relatable. But when you say that it's about sports. During those kindergarten and grade school years, it felt like somebody was only worth how fast they grew and how fit they were. No, I know. Yeah. Looking back on it now, it was really uncomfortable for me. Yeah, you do. I kind of get that as well. I mean, a lot of people that are just only sort of getting a reputation because of, I don't know, them being sporty and stuff like that. The thing that turned all that around was just a few words from my mother. Katie, would you like to go to a grammar school? You'll better grasp what you're learning in school and it will be more fun. So we moved school. Wow. The very first test I took at a grammar school was sort of like a game. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't like the test with the same exact problem dozens of times in a row. Every question had a pages to it, almost like one of those puzzle books that came on manga magazines. In my studies at school have been like this. It had been way more fun. Wow. Actually does sound kind of cool. I think, I'm going to be real, I think I would probably prefer like tests that Katie hates because they're just easier to sort of do. Really. They're just more similar to what I've actually been used to in doing all my life. Several days later I went to the grammar school again with my mother and the enrollment paperwork. Mum and the person in the grammar school had a really long heated discussion, oh my god, so I accidentally dozed off and missed most of what they said, but I clearly remember one point Mum made a loud groan, surprised at something. Yeah, my sister went to Mina's average.
平均点が61点ですか?
いえ、違いますよ。全国展開する当塾での平均偏差値が61です。
God, that's not very good at all.
範囲式の知能検査でも非凡な数字が出ています。まず申し上げて、前原圭一君は
でも学校では大した成績じゃありません。通信簿も2、3、4が適当に並ぶ何かの間違いではありませんか？
いくつかの知能テストとも重ねましたが、その結果、興味深いことが分かりました。前原君は意味を持たない問題に非常に弱いのです。
Oh, interesting.
無味乾燥で自身の生活に結びつかない内容の問題に興味が持てないのです。
I don't blame him, honestly. I mean, I don't know, there's one point. I mean, to be fair, there is one thing having no interest and another thing like actually doing school, you know. So even if he doesn't know what 2 plus 3 is, if you told him, yeah, 2 apples, then he got 3 more, he would understand that sort of question.
例えば、正6面体の展開図を書けと言われて混乱する圭一君も、サイコロを切り開いたらどんな形になるというふうに聞けば、見事に答えられるのです。
Then the person from the grammar school showed her a page from one of the exams I took. It was a paper with questions about construction. Construction questions were unusual, so they were really cool, weren't they? No. Construction is like the worst unit you do in maths. I swear to God. Fuck construction, I can't lie. It's actually so awful. I hated learning about that in year 9. In this question, it asked to draw an unfolded, regular shape with 20 faces. Okay, damn. That's really cool. When he rephrased it and asked him how he would cut out a piece of cardboard to create a 20-sided die. Oh, interesting.
と聞き直したら、圭一君はさも簡単、これは平凡なことではありません。
圭一、あなたどこかの本の雑誌の付録か何かで二重面体のサイコロを作ったことがあったの？
Dice only went from 1 to 6. I never even considered before the test that there was a dice with more than 6 sides, so it's fun to imagine what kind of shape of dice that went out 20 would. Yeah, I suppose if I added all that, I could win a snakes and ladders against everyone. So I immediately wanted to make it. Finally, I added grammar school. Oh, interesting. So we actually moved schools. There were only 4 students in the class. They put me in which was called Select. It was the highest class, and some of my classmates were in lower classes. Oh, that's the worst. But I get that as well. Because the thing is, in our school, there's 2 sides. There's like a right side and a left side. All of my classmates were like 97% of them, they're in the left side and we're in the right side. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. Like a lot of people, like none of my friends are in like a lot of my classes. And when I remembered how much better they had done things like dodgeball and the 50-meter sprint, I felt happiness well within me for the first time. Even if I wasn't as good as them physically, I triumphed over them in early ways. It was fun at first. The more I did, the more I was praised. My teachers at school suddenly started pampering me, and it felt good. My parents were satisfied too, and I enjoyed seeing them satisfied. The more I listened to my parents' commands, the more fun things got. Interesting. That did happen, didn't it? I went dryly in self-deprecation because, well, my studious lifestyle didn't end up lasting very long. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it was only at the beginning I enjoyed learning more and more. Yeah, now, I think if you move to Hinamizawa, then that's just instantly your study life gone. Because, I don't know, I mean, the school is nice and everything for a whole community vibe, but it's not fucking good for education, man. I gradually got along less with my friends. My classes were behind while I was learning in cram school. And I eventually stopped respecting the teachers, given that they could put me to sleep with their lecture. And well, I was a disagreeable sort who bragged a lot about how much I knew and the ways out of the world wouldn't let me remain in that state of ecstasy forever. Oh no, he's a know-it-all. Oh, how it was I was told, then I go above and beyond their expectations, and then they praise me. I was happy for that, and the cycle repeated itself like wheels on a bike. I thought moving forward like that was how life worked, like a bicycle. When I moved to Hinamizawa, I realised just how inadequate it was. Yeah, something's happened, and we started saying how moving and getting a change in atmosphere would be nice. I wonder what happened. And then my father, he had a place he liked that he'd gone a few times to draw the nature in. He started saying that he wanted to bring his atelier there. What is that? Put me in blank amazement. Then they decided to move to Hinamizawa. And after that, I met them, didn't I? The squad. The first day after transferring here, I went to the classroom with the teacher. I thought it would seem pitiful for her to bring me in there, so I placed my hand on the door before she could, slammed it open, and set from sensitive. Oh, right. Clatter. The thrilling, powerful way I opened the door was none other than my own determination for doing my life over again, and then within seconds I determined to hard counter to the face. A black ball eraser fell on me. Plus there was a huge rock inside. It was a supremely painful trap somebody had set up. Oh my god, so he doesn't even know Satokon like anybody. What a fucking way to get introduced. Wow. Oh come on, Tatarigoroshi was already beating me right from the first day I transferred. That frightened me. I was bewildered. The class was surprised too. I wasn't just surprised that the students in the class were all in different grades and were all different genders. It was because the room felt completely different from the schools I knew. And I spent more time with them. And as I spent more time with them, my surprise continued to grow. It must be very interesting being into a school like this. I mean, it's just so different to anything, really. Anything you sort of normally experience. This fresh sense of surprise never left my life, even to this day. Every day was a fresh new surprise. I'd never had a single boring day since coming here. Lucky bastard. Mjorn, dinner. Let's go. The days of lively spent with the other club members. We played old mate with guards with scratches on the back to cheat. We let all our passions go wild during our games. Oh, it's the toy shop. We went all out as regular participants in tournaments at the toy store in town, and many more things. Many more things. Can't forget about that extra many, mate. Maybe it's important. Who knows? Recently during those times, and there was the bento competition. It was then, that's when I saw an unexpected side to Satoko. Thinking back on it, I only ate dinner with her for 2 nights. It was such sweet and gentle time spent, and it warmed my heart remembering it even now. I remember this other girl was pretending to be stubborn and firm, and how brave she was. Part of her heart always waiting for a Nini to come home. And I vowed to become a Nini. Satoko may have been nagging and overly critical, but she knew how to take care of someone. Yeah, but though it might have seemed like she was taking the lead, it was actually her way of depending upon another person. Even as after seeing Satoko's lives and lives of siblings were combined by the uncle and his wife, they were still warm, sunny days. I suppose they still had school to go to. I'm sure they had a lot of fun there. When did those sunny days go all wrong? What mistake was made? The many tragedies out of the past would do no good, and I told myself that so many times, but I did anyway. Kiichi, isn't that why you choose your own path and take back that life? Never really ordered you to do this. You decided to do it on your own. You don't desire anyone's praise for this. If anything, you desire nobody's knowledge. You can't even have anyone apart from you know about it. You thought it all through yourself. You covered out yourself, and you'll do it now. This wasn't a path that could see very far down, not like the road parents society could offer. It was narrow rather than dark and utterly distressing. There was another path, dark and utterly distressing, one for which the next step would always be shrouded in darkness. But then that disheartening pain would keep on going on forever. It was an unlimited path, and there was nowhere I couldn't travel. I suppose it's really up to him what he does next. I mean, he can still turn back. The kind of path only available to those able to imagine where they wanted to go. But I mean, I know that he can turn back, but there's no fucking way he's going to. Don't be ashamed of breaking from the brightly lit paved road. In fact, feel proud that you found your way very own path to walk. Oh, don't, man. If you found your very own path that didn't involve fucking killing somebody, then I think that would be cool. Like, I don't know, what if you found like your own work plans or something like that? It's not. He shouldn't be feeling praise for what he's doing. And if I hadn't discarded the paved road either. Once I achieved my goal, I would go back to that bright road, and then I'd spend those average sunny days at my leisure. Crush. When I next realised that the hole had grown so deep, I couldn't believe it. Oh yeah, that's what happens when you take your mind off, you know, the subject. Oh, everything just seems to vanish. Did I dig this all myself? I think digging this much is enough. I put my shovel into the bottom of the hole. I would dry the body. I would dry the body here, go into the hole and cover it up with this dirt. Even if it took me a minute to cover, even if it took me time to camouflage it by putting blocks on top, it would all go more easily than digging this hole hard. Last time I watched, it was almost evening and I hadn't even realised it. Oh god. Wow. Must have gone very quick then. I may have not felt time passing, but digging a hole this deep must have taken quite a lot of time. I took a seat on a slanted rock nearby, and wiped the sweat from my brow. And now, once it got a little darker, I'd go get the metal bar I hid in the schoolyard. Then I made the call to lure him out. And then I'd do it. The number of things I needed to do to reach that moment were dwindling. I felt the moment close again on me much more keenly than I did in the passage of time. Well, yeah, I suppose, I mean, this is ultimately like one of these next 1, 2, maybe 3 hours, some of the most important hours he'll ever face, really. If he's going to do the deed, and if he isn't as well. Who knows? I didn't have any hesitation, but I still felt that a contradiction. At every step in this process, I had a few chances to hesitate, to turn back, to let myself lose my nerve. Having to endure those million temptations and wait for when the time was right was an indescribably slow and painful torture. Yeah, see what you mean. I thought about myself acting all week because of that, but I stopped midway through. Yeah. Yeah, whatever way you look at it, you need to be fucking strong if you want to sort of deal with something like this. This is okay, it was fine. I can detest the abnormal act of homicide as much as I wanted, and it didn't matter. I wasn't going to be a cutthroat killer after today. Oh god, no. Well, we hope not. He doesn't even know that for certain, but yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of people that, like, they're really scared about killing people firstly, but then they sort of realise that they actually really enjoy it, and then as a result just sort of go on killing sprees, really. Rampages. So I'm sure that's probably what a lot of people do. So it could be possible that he wants to do it more after this, but I kind of doubt he would. It just doesn't really strike me as a person who would want to do that type of thing without a really serious motive like there is here. I passed through this strange thing, goodbye to the world I was in before. If I fell to the level of a psychopath who thought nothing of killing, I wouldn't be able to get back to my old life. Yeah, so this was fine with me. I didn't have time to feel ashamed to hesitate to kill. I didn't have to feel ashamed because I was human. It was so funny to me that I'd been the bearer of, and I'd be the bearer of what Yasuda-sama must curse. So at the same time, I was aware I was human. That is kind of funny. I exhaled lightly, understood. I concealed my presence and sharpened my senses in all directions to search for anyone around but me. Okay, let's go. One step at a time, I will walk my own path. A path nobody had forced me. Let's do this. Higurashi. The cicadas making an annoying fuss. Their chorus covered up the suspicious noise of me breaking twigs on the foot. Oh, damn. Well, accomplice, obviously. Obvious accomplice. The police really gotta take all of their suspects into account, you know. And the chorus filled the bath far ahead of me, letting me know I will be alone for some time. The cicadas left the bath that I walked, encouraging me with every last ounce of strength they had. Damn. The sky was far above. In not even an hour, the veil of night would draw near and the sky would be tinted with dusk. By that time, the Higurashi would let me hear the chorus in the place of the cicadas. When that happened, would everything be over with? Would everything have ended? I said something along those lines when I left Satoko's fate up to a public agency. Oh, interesting. It could be a possibility, but I think it's very unlikely this isn't going to be like the be-all and end it all. But who knows? Shit could still go wrong. But this time was different. I would do it. I would carry it out. I would end it. It would all be over very soon. Everything would end. Yes, when the Higurashi cried. Oh shit, here we go. Oh, you see the sunset. And likewise, we have a little break. Okay, I've got to wipe my eyes. I'm actually See, the thing is, I'm really enjoying this. It's just I'm really tired at the same time, so it's kind of hard to take in, you know. Oh God, we see the school now. There was nobody at school. Well, no shit, if there were people at the school, that would be a little bit scary. Like, what will they be doing for a start? Well, I'm sure they wouldn't be planning to murder somebody, but like, yeah, okay. There was nobody at school. I couldn't hear their blazing voices of children there. This is the first time I see the school with such a lack of beauty in the presence. Still, I quite remember I looked around, no one seemed to be unprepared. It had gotten darker outside, but it was almost like my eyes could see more clearly now. I made absolutely sure of my safety, then walked to the heavy construction machine I'd hidden the metal bat behind. Ooh. Oh yeah, of course, that's where he hid it. Completely forgot about that. Yeah. I had a tinge of worry, a premonition that somebody had found the bat and hidden it somewhere else as a prank. If that happened, would I take that as an opportunity to desist? If it really wasn't anywhere, then oh, that would be bad. Especially if they got it for prints and then could potentially like jump to conclusions and get Oishi involved as well. God, the sensation of chilled metal. It was still here where I left it. Oh, it probably would have been good if it was gone though, because he wouldn't feel tempted to, you know, carry out the deed. He hadn't run away. Satoshi hadn't run away. He waited patiently for me. Sorry for the wait, Satoshi. It's been a long way coming. You prepared for this? Through the metallic touch, and Satoshi grins at me in my mind. That's what I should be asking, you know. I did this last year already. What? I did this last year already? What? You should be more worried about yourself. Well, Satoshi. Let's show him a bad time. Satoshi's bag got lighter and lighter and fit into my hands like it was being absorbed. It didn't feel wrong to swing this. I could move it around so naturally, it was like an extension of my own right arm. Damn. And then he was saying it wasn't the fitter type. It's actually kind of surprising because baseball bats are heavy. Like, wait, no, I don't know if baseball bats are actually the same as softball bats. I'm just assuming they are because those are the only sort of baseball bat related things I've actually used. But like, God, they're heavy as fuck. Or at least the ones I've tried are. Of course it felt like that. Satoshi and I were holding one bat together. Next, I made the call to lure the man out. It wasn't about time for it. My friends were doubtlessly parading happily through the stalls I hadn't considered where to make the call from. Yeah, public phone. No, people could see. In theory, maybe a public phone, or he can't do it anywhere that's traceable though. I don't really know what to think. My house and Sato's were pretty far apart. If I called from my house, I wouldn't make it. Couldn't I use a school phone? Oh, that's... Oh, that would have been really smart, but yeah. Looks like he can't, but I thought the room was locked up and I couldn't get in. Shit, I'm so naive. You should have at least figured this part out. I couldn't call him, and just for that, was today all over? I'm sorry, Satoshi. I'm just like, curse my own naivety. A miracle occurred. A bicycle came into the schoolyard. It was a familiar middle-aged man. The one from the Forest Service field office. What? Wasn't today Sunday? Was he here to pick up something he had forgot? Anyway, the forest officer went around and back and felt something in his pocket, then unlocked the door and entered. The best possible coincidence, and it had to be Satoshi who saved me. They went about through just my contact with it. Told me this was a chance I couldn't allow to slip by. The sections of the forest office and the school were nearly separated. I've other man hidden to the forest office storehouse, which was so far back. Students went and I went to it. Oh damn. The door didn't match his fittings very well, so it didn't close all the way, and the gap in the door opened slowly as if to lure me in. Damn. That's just like fatal fucking design flaw right there. Wow. So we can actually just completely intrude. What's the chances of there being a phone there, though? I mean, I took a deep breath and went in. that's why he went in, because he wanted to pick up something he forgot, potentially. I tiptoed along silently and stealthily. I made it into the teacher's lounge. There was only one place, and that was the only place we could find. Oh, right. Oh my god, that's genius. Wow. So it's actually, oh, of course, we got the, you know, the curry meal. Oh, that's genius. So it was that simple. Yeah, I suppose get in that office and then you can sort of just go in through there. Wow. As I held my breath in the teacher's lounge, I heard the forest officer walking back over. Then the back door clattered shut and it was locked. Yeah, how is he going to get out from the locked door? What? I glanced out of the window at the schoolyard and watched as the man got on his bike like nothing had happened and rode out the school gate. Well, nothing has happened. For you, at least. A little bit has happened for Casey. The school once again emptied, becoming deathly silent. I waited for a bit to make sure the silence was the real deal, then reached for the telephone on the principal's desk. I fished Tatarigoro's house's phone number out of my pocket. Yes, the number in the class directory for Tatarigoro had been the one from their house now, where she lived with her uncle. I touched the dial with my fingers and then thought for a moment about what to say exactly when he picked up. Oh my god. Despite just how many times I go over it in my head last night. Now that I have my finger on the dial like this, it started to seep out of my mind like a quiet bucket leaking water. Simple and best, more importantly to say it straight and not sound suspicious. I counted off 3 heartbeats and spun the dial. Oh shit, here we go, the cool sound. Would Tatarigoro's uncle pick up? Now 4 times, the hope that he wouldn't pick up and the feeling of doom in the knowledge that I couldn't save Tatarigoro if he didn't, whirled around in a vortex. Hello? Oh god, he did pick up. Shit. This is so funny, like, him just picking up as a death wish. Like, genuinely. Hello, it was the voice of a grumpy man, like he had just woken up. He picked up. Hello, say your name so I don't know. So I know you're Hojo, you asshole. It would be terrible if I got it wrong. I made up my mind. So I had all the initiative on my own. Here we go. Oh my god. This is Shishibone Okinomiya police station. God, that is a cold place where he's gonna pretend to be a police officer and then he's gonna kill someone. Ah yes. A little bit of corruption there maybe. Must be the Hojo residence. I was still changing my voice, but he really did think I sounded like an adult. Huh? Would he believe I was the police? Oh yes, this is Hojo. Oh no. We currently have your daughter Satoko. Hojo here with us. What did that rat do? Oh. He fell for it. I could tell by how tense he was that he didn't doubt my words. I can explain the particulars once you have arrived here. Would you mind coming to the station right away? Right now, I already took a bath myself, so I don't really want to go out like this. So, what? You don't want to come because you already took a bath? Oh my god. What kind of an excuse is that? It's just like, I took a bath. I can do nothing apart from laze around and just sit around on my ass for the entire day. Is that basically what he's trying to say? Because that's kind of sad if he is, can't lie. Oh my god. Wow. I have heard of laziness, but I have never heard of something that bad. Wow. Yes, right away. Right away? Jeez, man, what the heck does Satoko do? I'll explain once you're there. Oh, of course, you'll explain once he's here. I'll be waiting thank you for your existence. Oh, God, that is just classic. Oh, 1 second. I don't know where the police station is. Where am I going? You moron. What the hell? The Okinomiya police station? I don't know where it is either. Oh no! I knew from around here, Casey. You can't really save that much. Oh no! What's he gonna do? Why don't you know that? Agrees his work from over my body. Eventually, just as I was about to choke, he spoke. Oh, and this is the fire station, right? Oh, that's pretty far. Bro, this dude is so... I mean, Casey is so lucky. Bro, if he didn't speak, then that would have just been, like, the end of his act, you know? Oh, next to the fire station, right? That's pretty far. Thank goodness he'd remembered his own for me. I didn't care where the police station was, so as long as he left his house to get there. Then we will be waiting here. Oh wait, who am I asking for once I get there? What is your name? God, you can really see this person just doesn't know the rules of respect. On top of that, you wanted to know my name? Just leave your goddamn house already. My bossy. My bossy. Excuse me. That's really clever though. Mayahashi is a Japanese surname, I know. Mayabashi is probably also a surname. I don't know. That's really clever. That was close. I almost thought that he told him my real name. I managed to change the last syllable of it, but I put the receiver down like I was running away. Oh, damn. My fingers were troubling and I was soaked with a tepid sweat. I wasn't just nervous about the phone call. With that call, everything had been finally put into motion. I left the school. It was locked before, but it was easy enough to open from the inside. Yeah, of course, bro. A building this old, there's no way it wouldn't be. But I couldn't lock it again after I left. Oh, that's a little bit bad. In terms of being far out, I wanted to lock it, but I couldn't waste time going back to the teacher's lounge and looking for the key. And you can't risk fingerprints. But the thing is, his prints are going to be all over the door. I mean, I don't know, maybe it'll look suspicious, but maybe at the same time it just looked like, you know, maybe Tia called them for talking about something and then he just went out, so it's not really that bad. I needed to rush back as fast as I could and ambush him. I zoomed back to the scene on my bike. If Tatarigoroshi got out of town before I got there, everything would be over. He learned that there was nobody at the station named Mayabashi, and things would get pretty messed up. As I returned at full speed, I passed a family wearing yukattas. They must have been on their way to the festival. Many people in numbers are unknown my face, even though I didn't know theirs. Even just passing by them like this made me feel uneasy, but I didn't generally come around here, so those living in the area might not have known much about me. That didn't matter right now. I needed to get back as fast as possible, to control my breathing and to ambush the man. Ambush! I had my bag in a thicket and picked up Satoshi's bat, which I'd just left hidden in the shade, and then I held my breath waiting to see someone. I wondered if he still hadn't gotten here, or maybe he went right out after the phone call and passed by here already. I couldn't figure out which it was and was set upon by an indescribable impatience. Oh god, calm down, my Abadakiti. Even if he came already, he passed by here on the way back, right? Suppose. The end result would still be the same. It wouldn't change the fact that he'd die. He'd probably be coming on his motorcycle. How would I stop him then? Oh god. Oh, there's so many flaws into his plans. I mean, to be fair, he can't really... I get that he can't really think about this type of stuff, but he just has to kind of hope. Having it would be worse than to think too hard and just hit him as he passed. Yeah, or beat him out of his seat. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just like, I don't know. Just like one of those arcade games where you sort of have a light that's going left and right really quickly, and you have to time it on the right one. It's sort of like that, really. The bar was made of pebbles. If I hit him as hard as I could have made him lose his balance, he wouldn't be able to help falling. Oh shit, that's actually really bad. And then the chorus of the Higurashi stopped. The sound of a bike approaches from far. Oh no, I couldn't tell what sort of motorcycle it was from its sound, but I'd seen it parked before, so I knew. No, it was getting rapidly closer. It was almost it. If he just went a little farther, he'd cross into that thicket and appear in front of me. Fuck. Well, this is where shit's really gonna hit the fan. I took a moment to make sure it was him. Then when I had, I put my plan into action. Right. The motorcycle appeared. A few easily identifiable characteristics told me it was Satoru's uncle's bike without a doubt. Was it really him? Was it really Satoru's uncle? I wasn't making a mistake, was I? I looked at his characteristics again, his colour, shape, and most of all the man's clothes and face. Those last feelings of hesitation, I did away with them. Satoru, now you will end it, okay? Closer and closer, the bike came closer. Let's go. Stop to see. What? What? Yeah. Whoosh. Wait, what? That's not Katie's voice. That's weird. So, wait, so this just makes no sense whatsoever? Is this just sort of an imagination Katie's having, or is Satoshi, like, I don't know, his spirit somehow, like, genuinely with Katie or something like that? That's weird. I love that though. Yeah, whoosh, I jumped out of the thicket. I used my shoulder to basically tackle the uncle on the bike with all my might. He gave a dumb shout as if his bike completely lost its balance. Finally it fell, the bike scattering clouds of sand, and after spinning it stopped. Our uncle tossed to the ground, didn't understand what had just happened, and groaned for a few moments, crouched on the ground. Oh god, ha 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 ha. My breathing started to become rather good. No, I couldn't have this emotion. Some weird secretion crossed through my brain and then it made me hallucinate. Our uncle was groaning. Now was the once in a lifetime opportunity. What was I doing? All the sounds in the world cut off. My mental cares from a moment ago withdrew like a lie, and I could feel the temperature in my head rapidly cooling down. The tension in my muscles all went away like the strings they had been attached to have been cut, and I left my hands dangling on my sides. It wasn't quite like exhaustion. Have you calmed down now, my bad, Katie? Do you need to remember again why things got to the point today? Scrape, scrape. I stepped over the pebble path, taking one step, another step, and then another towards Satoru's uncle. The more I walked, the more my breathing calmed. The more I walked, the more I found my body cooling, calming, chilling with frost. Yes. At this moment, the guy had lost permission to live. Oh, I mean, the second he moved back, he kind of had in Katie's view at least. I just kind of rescinded it. I just rescinded it. So he mustn't stay in this world any longer. If he lived any longer, if Satoru's misfortune continued, it would be my responsibility for allowing him to have lived. It would have been, but it wouldn't have been. But if you ask me, if he did continue living, if word got out that like he was attempted murder on, and then if he found out, especially who did it, then that's toast for Katie. Genuine toast. I can feel the cooling substance going through my whole body, even down to my capillaries. Down. I was on my feet now, still on the ground like an idiot. I smelled coldly at how ridiculous it looked. That's all it took for it to hurt. Satoru's heart hurt much more, and now you're going to feel that, and with your life I'll make up for it. I erased all unnecessary information from my mind. I prioritised my life. This man, excuse. God. Wham! Utterly calmly, I delivered my first strike to the back of his head. I wanted to get the most effective spot, at least during that first moment I'd had after I attacked him. While he was at his most defenseless. And if he was hit in the head, he'd cover his head. It was a defensive reaction all humans made, like machines. He used both hands to cover his head so he couldn't pick himself up off the ground. Off the heap he was in on the ground. Oh shit, like bounding a battered balloon into the dirt. I hit him over and over and over. If he covered his head, I'd hit him in the side. Oh god. If he covered his whole body, I'd go for his head. If he rolled over, I'd strike his feet, his knees, his elbows. Holy fuck, I didn't care where anymore. Just by delivering one blow after another, I induced panic into him. I retained my overwhelming advantage, but I hadn't done nearly enough to deliver a fatal wound. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Orango skillfully pulled himself up off the ground and started to run like a fleeing rabbit. It wasn't a judgment he made after seeing my face and deciding whether to fight me. Right now, he was fleeing my instinct just by trying to escape from the threat that presented itself. Counter-attack from the more physically capable uncle was what I was more concerned about. He may have run, but it was not that unlucky. And the odds were in my favour. The uncle didn't run away towards people, but off to the path into the woods. Oh, that's really good, yeah. Well, not really good, but like really good for his plan, you know. How pleasant that he went in a direction nobody else was. He was fleeing into a strange geography like a rat that instinctively runs into tight spots over and over. Yes, he was no longer human. He was a rat. The blood vessels in my legs expanded and my total oxygen supply increased. I lowered myself to gain the most explosive velocity I could. Without breathing, I began like a wind-like shadow and dashed across the thickets, crushed the tree branches underfoot and go through the woods like a bullet. He ran so cowardly I was flailing as he went. After catching up to him, I didn't need as much as a blink of an eye to strike him again. Down. My senses, mind and body were all sharpened purely to kill this man. This is the first time I felt like this. Well, this is the first experience I'd ever had killing someone. God. You don't want to have another one, mate. At least it's your first, I suppose. I don't know. Oh, I don't even know what to say anymore. If I were naturally continuing to do this for the first time. And that meant I had this much talent for killing. Oh, God. Or perhaps the act of killing was so simple that anyone could do it. I didn't struggle or grow tired at all chasing the clumsily fleeing uncle. No matter how much he ran, it was like trying to get away from his own shadow. He couldn't get away from me. I could easily aim at his back, his shoulder, his head, even from his unnatural stance. Each time I struck him, he wailed in pain and begged pitifully for forgiveness, but it didn't disturb my mind. Oh, God. You can really tell just how determined he is with this. I mean, I'm gonna be real, even if I saw somebody that had caused like this much horrible things to, I don't know, for example, a friend, I would feel bad at them, sort of, you know, begging for mercy and stuff like that. I'd probably give in as well. It's just kind of surprising. It's just really sad how sort of dehumanized he is by this whole killing thing. I was neither excited nor plagued by hesitation like this before. I felt sharp. I felt like a carnivore, of course. So did the uncle who was trying to run away because he didn't want to die. He didn't want to be eaten like a herbivore, running with all its might, trying to get away. Despite all the attacks, despite all the hits, he kept on fleeing without even staggering. Damn, and despite the bag footing in the forest, he impressively never tripped over anything. But there was no need to admire that fact. It was simply proof that he was no more than an animal. If he was chased, he would run. If he was going to be killed, he would run. He bet his fangs at the weak, but couldn't oppose the strong whatsoever. His lowly, vulgar, diminutive animal, such a really little creature, had harms at the world. Scar after scar into my body and mind, deep wounds that might never go away as long as he lived. Hell. My cold and calm emotions suddenly turned into bestial ones. My personality changed into something specialised from that purely to devour the diminution of Bro, even these shrieks were enough to blooming scare me. The old guy repeated a little scream, covered his head and ran. I'm impressed by how much you can run. Fine, run as much as you can like. I will be your death. I will choose the moment at my leisure. Your leg will hurt, your lungs will feel about to burst. Your head will hurt from lack of oxygen. If you feel the pain that has become worse, if you feel that pain has become worse than death, then by all means stop at any time. Without turning back, suffocating on his terror of approaching death, he just ran shamefully onward. Oh fuck. God, you really see the blood now. He ran, but he was chased, his head bashed with a metal bat, sweat and drool flooding everywhere, blood gleaming to him. From his mouth came the sounds of coarse, irregular breathing and high-pitched screaming that verged on cry, and pleas with forgiveness to someone, I don't know who. Each and every second was a second of atonement that I granted him. Now run. Then fall, moan, and die. Why did you even crawl out of anyway? You were never here before. If you were never here, you should have never showed up. If you never showed up, our lives would still be fun and enjoyable. We would have gone to today's festival, waited for each other, and gone to the shrine laughing. We would have been playing amongst the stalls right about now. We were browsing the strange fruit stalls you could only see at the festivals, trying to get prizes around the goldfish, scooping river and a target practice. You know, Surely make it into a competition, and we as a club would have a grand time, and everyone would have been cheering for the Qatar's dedication dance, and everybody would say how fun it was, and it would give us energy for days to come. Fun, enjoyable, and funny, warm time spent with friends, and all of that would have happened, but it didn't, and now it's all smashed to pieces. Oh God, there was no doubt that it would be what the world was like if you never showed up. Oh. You were the obstacle, the mistake there is in that world, but I would make that mistake now. I'd erase you and make it up. So this last week it never happened. Tonight was the Tatarigoroshi festival, the holy night where taking just one life was prevented in the name of Oyasu Osamu's curse. Oh, it looked like the Higurashi stopped crying at some point. When the Higurashi cried, everything would end. And the Higurashi silenced. Lonely one, the hour for time is in an end. The Higurashi have started crying, thus it is the end. The end, the end, the end, end! You don't have to run away anymore. Die with those dirty bones of yours splashed everywhere. Lightning and thunder struck like an explosion. Oh God, it was so loud and it shook the ground, and I smelled gunpowder. The response I got this time was clearly different from the one before. Another rat crunched into the crown of his head. It was like the top of his head had caved in. The bat felt like it was biting him. Fucking hell. Well, I think he's dead now. Yeah, no going back now, I suppose. Blood, blood, blood. Even the final killing attack that visited him, when I didn't overlook the opening, he left his knees, gave out under him. Oh no, I made alert for a few moments, and then thud, thud. He planted both knees into the ground and then fell forwards, burying his head into the ground. Oh shit. I've been holding on and breathing, but now it came out of me like a dam. Bursting. My head was dizzy and light, and I was able to maintain my balance, and I leaned against a nearby tree. The uncle didn't try and guard his head any longer. After a disgusting sort of spasm, he stopped moving. Did I get him? Did I get him for sure? I forced by my exhausted urge to fall over when he stood and drew towards him carefully, but still at the ready. Bat still at the ready, even. It was possible he was faking it and trying to wait it out. Should I check for a pulse? I realised right away though how unnecessary that would be. If I thought he might have been faking it, then I would just have to keep pummeling him until I was satisfied. God, yeah. I thought about my right breathing again, and then I swam about far above and brought it down. Clunked, his body lived like a bow, but he didn't try and cover his head. Then once again I aimed for his head and swung. His reaction was the same as last time. God. I'm just imagining a V-Man is making his head into Motsi. It's just not a very nice image. Oh God. It gradually started to feel different, and it started to spray a filthy dark red liquid everywhere. That was enough. It was definite now. I had absolutely killed him. There was no sense of accomplishment, nor one of regret. I didn't feel anger towards Tatarigoro's uncle, nor pity towards Tatarigoro herself. Instead, right now, I was feeling like my heart had been stolen by the downpour. It began to rain at some point, and how comfortable it felt. Oh God, of course he finds rain comfortable now. Oh my God, it's actually kind of lucky for him that it's raining, because I wonder if like the rain can sort of wash the blood away. But isn't blood incredibly hard to sort of get out anyway, though? You have to have some sort of special cleaning sort of, I don't know, something for it. No, I was thinking sodium hydroxide dissolves flesh, doesn't it? I don't know what dissolves blood. The rainwater dredged my body and dripped to the ground. The excitement within me faded as the rain washed away the grime. In exchange, my shoes were so wet they made splashing sounds. God. And despite abusing Satoshi's bat like that, it wasn't bent very much. Damn. Well, you can obviously tell it probably went through the same sort of treatment last year. There were a few dents in it probably from hitting the man, but nothing that would make it seem different from before. Instead, it had been stained with black, with red, with mud and blood. but that itself would be fair evidence. Yeah, the one piece of evidence needed to prove that my delusions hadn't just been daydreams and that I'd ended Satoko's uncle for all eternity. Alright, Geerti, calm your mind. The time of passion is over. Now is the time to be cold as ice. I needed to bury the body, but where was I? I simply followed the man as far as he ran into the darkness. I couldn't take a guess as to how far we'd run. It was already pitch black around us, and the only light I had to go on was the very faint lights on the road a little further down. It was so dark out. I hadn't noticed the darkness until now. My vision was so good that I could see the man's ugly hairline. I could have counted the pores in his head. It was only now that I realised how much crazy strength I must have at that moment. Well, yeah, I guess it was so passionate that he didn't really think about it. I went over to the street light. I looked up and down the road, desperately trying to figure out where I was. This is the one road connecting Namazawa to the town. He's near a road? Holy fuck, leave! He needs to leave right now. Oh fuck. The second a car discovers him, he is screwed. Genuinely. He really needs to just go as soon as possible to, the bit. We were unbelievably far away from Satoru's house. Had the two of us really run so far a distance? My surprise at that was accompanied by knowledge of the miraculous fact that despite running so far and making so much noise, we hadn't come across anybody at all. Like, for real. There was a long way between here and the ambushed location where I dug the hole. There was no way I could carry the body that far. Wait, aside from that, the boat the man took here was still lying in the middle of that pond. Oh, I suppose that would be an issue. The police could tell whose motorcycle it was by looking at its license plate, and they wouldn't just leave it at that. Thankfully, because it was in a dark forest, in terms of urgency, dealing with the bike would come first, and I wanted to get the shovel back from where I'd left it, next to the table. Next to the hole? Why did I say table? Weird. I shouldn't drag the body there. I would have to deal with it right here. Fortunately, the ground was like mud from the downpour and was more sludgy here than where I was before. I might be able to dig a grave quickly here. Oh yeah, I suppose. What would actually happen, I wonder, if you buried somebody entirely in mud and then the mud sort of hardened as the rain subsided into dirt? Like, would that just be a reliable way of covering somebody? Because, I don't know. It'd either work or it'd be really unreliable. I can't really decide. Of course, my bicycle was still over where I left it too. It still wasn't over. Homicide. That had been only half of my goal. The other half would be just as important as the first. I would completely hide the body, not allowing the beginning to happen. I would have raised my hand like he never existed and regained the peaceful times we had before. I bent my head backwards and calmed my mind even further. The big water droplets struck my brow mercilessly. They were actually quite comfortable, and for a while I let my desire have its way. After confirming that I was sharp again, I started running through the rain. The motorcycle was in the grass of the roadside. Considering how it looked, pelted with rain and covered in mud, it actually seemed like it had been lying there for a very long time. The plan was to drop the motorcycle into the swamp. Oh, so the swamp was beside the foresty area, because I was thinking that it wasn't. I was thinking that it wasn't. The forest area was just one sort of massive area that you couldn't really find any sort of sea related places or terrain at. That was to drop the motorcycle in the swamp. The swamp was a bit of a walk from here. Right. Oh god. He's gonna have to carry a dead body all that way. I mean, even if it's a bit of a walk, that's still a big risk. Wait no, I forgot. The motorcycle we're talking about, not the dead body. I lifted the bike up. I didn't think it would be so heavy. I was a little surprised, but once I had it upright, it was fairly easy to roll it along. Still pushing this thing all the way to the swamp was really not something I wanted to do. I could no longer ignore my exhaustion, and it warned me numerous times of how far away the swamp was. Yeah. This motorcycle, I wonder if I could ride it well enough. Once I got it going, it would basically be the same as a bicycle, wouldn't it? Going into the swamp quickly? It would not be the same as a bicycle, no way. A plan suggested by my exhaustion and the anxiety of getting on a motorcycle for the first time were true. I turned the key and then you just kick this pedal, right? Yeah. Boom, it's on. And then I gripped the handlebars from the right and then the left. Maybe I twisted them too much. The bike lurched and did a wheelie like an angry horse. I lost it for a second, but it was a problem of how much torque to apply. Let's try that again. This time slowly, gently. It's actually very interesting because I've never rode a motorbike, so I'm sort of learning as Casey is. This time it went well. It was very strange to be on a two-wheel vehicle that would go even if I didn't pedal. Very odd, but I got used to it quickly. Mignon told me that if you could get a scooter license within a day, and she was clearly right. God, bro, I can see how. It was pretty easy. I needed to throw the metal back into the swamp too, but I didn't know how I would back onto the motorcycle. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know what you can do. Without much other choice, I stuffed it into the back of my shirt, feeling like a ninja carrying a katana. Oh yeah, I suppose you could do that. If I put the tip down. And see on my pants and hunched over, he wouldn't fall out. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I got on the back of the bike and this time going without any difficulty. I carefully pressed the button labelled light and a rather strong light came on, illuminating the way forward. No! But I mean, firstly, a motorcycle, it's going to make noise. Secondly, like, light. Maybe that might just be a sort of cool, it might have just been a sign that are cool other people to you because they see something that's not. Well, if there's going to be a light, then people will know that not everything is normal. Like, people are actually out in this really rainy weather. Not everything is natural. More what meets the eye. I probably really shouldn't have done it on, but I didn't have any way of seeing it at this point, and had zero confidence I could ride through this darkness. As the rain came down on me, I maintained a precarious balance and inched my way towards the swamp. Along the way I ran across a few people who seemed to be returning from the festival, but none of them had any interest in me. They were either all soaked through with rain and hurrying on their ways home, or had their umbrellas low and their heads down. Oh, that's lucky. But yeah, it's kind of impossible to tell for them at the moment, because if they didn't, the only indication that he could have done such a deed would be the bat, and yet you can barely see it anyway, and they wouldn't even care because they'd be more focused on getting home. Yesterday I might have been wary of even these passerby, but right now it didn't seem much to be a cause for concern. In fact, it would probably be less suspicious to be riding out in the open like this instead of sneaking around. More and more, though, I started to think of that idea as naive, but on my exhausted state. I climbed a steep hill on a bike. That hill would have put me off out of the breach, but I just had to accelerate a little bit to climb the entire thing. Motorcycles sure are convenient. For a moment, its lights illuminated a sign before I passed by it. Higurashi swamp. Good children do not play around here. Yeah, I think that's a little bit true. What if the good kids are demons in disguise, bro? What if they have demon blood? Or a demon just tattooed on their back? Would make sense. Obvious thought right there. Still, it wasn't like the way to this one was cordoned off by a metal fence or anything. But that is lucky. Parents teachers would get mad at you if they found you how you were playing at the swamp, but some of the bikers in my class apparently snuck out it there sometimes to see the giant crayfish in the place. Interesting. They talked before about how they go into the candy shop and buy some pickled squid. What? Pickled squid at a candy shop? What? I'm dead ass curious at the moment. I'm gonna search up what pickled squid is. It either sounds really awful or kind of good. Right, let's see what it is. Oh no, no, that does look good. Wow. Okay, yeah. Looks good, but does not look like candy to me. I'm just really surprised that you'd actually, I don't know, you go to a store like that for candy. No, not for candy, for a pickled squid. That's weird. They just tied to a fishing line and throw it, and all the crayfish would come running. Oh wow. Once I got up to the bank, there was a tiny ritual shrine and traditional ropes on one of the trees. Oh, here we are, Higurashi. Higurashi. And as I followed the downpour hole, the blackened swamp had waited for me. If I slammed onto the accelerator from the cliff-like stop I was on now, the thing would fly straight into the middle of the swamp. Oh my god, yeah. Shit, does he even know how to stop it? I had to be careful not to fall in with it. If I drowned as a bird, man, what a stupid ghost story that'd be. On the night of the Tatarigoroshi, Tatarigoro's uncle's corpse was found in a thicket by the road leading to town, and my Higurashi went missing. Bill whispered that had been human away. The 5th year's curse would be a half-baked one. Half-assed. What a bad effort. I got off the bike and twisted the accelerator as hard as I could. I let go when it seemed like it would drag me forward. The bike shot me off the cliff and was swallowed down into the swamp, leaving a far fainter splash than I had imagined. Damn. The surface was being pummeled by the downpour, and the muddy, filthy water was flowing into it. I couldn't even make out the motorbike. I just threw it in there. Nice. It was pretty heavy after all. It would be quickly engulfed by the soft mud at the bottom of the swamp. Okay, that's good. Yeah. And it will be rolled deeper and deeper until it reached hell itself. Hello. I'm going to hell today. What is going to come to hell today? I wonder. Just motorcycle? I found no reluctance whatsoever in throwing the man's motorbike down to the land of the demons, but I did have a tinge of regret about Satoshi's butt. I was about with muddy water, and the gore sticking to it came off easily. Oh no, is he not disposing of the evidence? I had sort of shared the day's events with Satoshi, so I wanted to give it a quiet place to stay. That's how I felt. I started to feel more like returning it to the locker room from before, so it could keep synchronizing to keep watch over Satoko. Oh my god, no! I mean, I get that he feels bad for Satoshi and everything, but fucking dispose of it, man. That's so much evidence there. Satoshi, I probably misunderstood you. Satoshi listened quietly without nodding. I'm absolutely convinced now you were the one who beat your aunt to death last year and saved Satoko. I always called you when you called me a coward who ran away, but I was wrong. To the rest of the world, some deviant was behind that incident, but I know. No, I suppose, because we never found out who the deviant was. It could be Satoshi, but at the same time, not everything adds up if it was him, because, like, he could have left Hinamizawa because he actually knew the police were onto him. That could be a theory, but at the same time, why would he have withdrawn all of his cash? Maybe he could have brought the stuffed animal for Satoko and then been arrested, but at the same time, like, it's literally his younger sister. Like, you would have thought the police would have notified them if I'm so tired, I can't think. If it was actually something, you know? That was something you did for her. And then you disappeared. You finally got back the peace and lost it within days. So I swear to you that I will live life to the fullest from now on. Live it enough for both of us. I will live on as low this week, this day, never happened, but I will never forget this short time we shared together for as long as I will live. I didn't know what expression Satoshi made as he listened, but as someone who protected the same girl, he had smiled and given me his blessing. And then my hand moved off his own accord, and about I had hesitated to throw it away, left my hands and flew through the air. Okay, good. Like, that would have been so stupid if he didn't throw that away. It travelled its parabolic path, spinning all the while, and the swamp absorbed it without a sound. There weren't any ripples when it hit the surface. That surface was tempestuous because of the downpour, and the bite was long gone. For a moment I regretted having thrown it, but I realised that might have been what Satoshi had wanted. You're right, I still can't imagine just yet. Yeah. This is the last stretch, like, genuinely. I would return with my shovel, get on my bike, dig a hole to hide the body and bury it. It seemed like a simple sequence of events, but I felt extremely exhausted and had to do it all tonight. Satoshi left me with the only advice that I needed to finish this up soon, then fell silent for all eternity and disappeared at the bottom of the demon's abyss. Ugh. I returned to the bar I had ambushed our uncle. My boat was hidden, sleeping in the bush, so I stood it back up. My whole body felt heavy, but I needed to finish this by the end of the day, even if I had to whip myself to do it. Oh, I forgot something. I didn't just come in from my bike. The shovel was here too. Not good. I was zoning out. Every once in a while, if I let my guard down, my vision would almost go black. Oh, fuck. Pull yourself together, my Higurashi. It's still not over. He can't sleep. He cannot sleep. If he sleeps, especially, I mean, if he sleeps is one thing, but if another thing is he hasn't completed the job, especially if somebody finds him, then yeah, fuck, basically. It's still not over. Yeah, for real. I went into the grove of trees and looked for the hole in which I had hidden the shovel. Unfortunately, I had hidden in it deep in the forest, not wanting it to be seen, and now everything was black in the night and I couldn't see anything anymore. I reawakened my fading consciousness and realised just how big this annoyance really was. What, you can't be serious? This where the rain washed away before came back up to my skin, deep in the forest where the streetlights could never reach. The fact that it would be so pitch black had completely been uncalculated. Oh no. And to be fair though, at least he's like got 100% sort of clearance that nobody's going to be there. Also, the thing is, he's taking a long time. If it's completely pitch black, aren't his parents going to wonder where he is? Oh god, that could be a really bad thing. But I don't know. With this much darkness, even if I had been able to kill him right away like I'd planned, I didn't know if I could still have buried him without a problem. What should I do? I simply couldn't find the shovel tonight. If I forced myself to go deep into the forest, I'd lose even my sense of direction and might actually get lost in there. That might have been an exaggeration, but if it's fully possible, I'd just trip over a tree root and strain a muscle. Alright, my house's storage room. There was another shovel in there, the same fold-up kind. Couldn't I go back to the house, get the shovel, and give up on finding the shovel tonight? No! You fucking can't! It's not as though the name Mayabara is written on the shovel. Oh no. But it seemed like an unusual item from an import variety store made in another country, so I didn't want to leave that shovel here, but in the darkness I couldn't do anything. I should give up and go back to the storage room. You fucking shouldn't. And okay, that's actually kind of fair. He probably should, if there's a lantern. If I used that for light, I could get through it. But it was extremely dark. Could I light the way with just the lantern? The light of a lantern in this dark night. I couldn't discard the possibility of it drawing eyes. And yeah, and I doubted if I could find the shovel within the lantern's feeble light. Besides, I left the body there for a pretty long time already. Oh my god, could you imagine if like Geezy finds that the body just has gone away? My sense of fear dulled through excessive exhaustion, finally reared its ugly head. Yeah, anyway, for now, the most important thing was to hide the body. A shovel being found wouldn't be a big deal, but of course, if they found that, I'd share the same fate as Satoshi. Firstly, I go back to the storage room at home. Then I get the lantern. Now that it's gotten this dark, I might just still need to light a hole for the body too. Light to dig a hole for the body too. And I get the other shovel and then I deal with the body first thing. Once that was done, I come back here, find the shovel and bring it back. I had to do at least that much, but I was so tired. Complaining was getting me nowhere. If I started getting complacent now, everything would have been naught. At some point I sat down, I gritted my teeth and endured, lifting my heavy hip. The night was young. Of all the nights I experienced, none had ever been this long. When would it all end? The night was young. Oh shit. This really is a problem. I wonder what he is actually going to do. I'm going to be real. I think if I was him, I probably would have just tried my hardest to sort of retrace all my steps, because you could in theory do it, but I don't know. If you're really unknowledgeable about where you went, then I suppose it's the best option, right? The lights at home were dazzlingly bright. Suddenly they reminded me how hungry I was. I checked the clock and saw that it was almost 7. That's not that bad. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought as well. I thought sure it was 2 or 3 in the morning already. I was just surprised at how messed up my biological clock had gotten from this one night. There was a warm light coming from the curtains in the living room window. The worlds between here and what was beyond those curtains was so different. Bro, that is so true. If only that man hadn't shown up, I would have been in that light. I'd still be aside from the festival, and I'd be talking to my parents about how much fun I had with all my friends. And even then, even though they made a hot meal for me, I would have eaten way too much of the stalls, barely eaten any of it, and gone back to my room, no doubt I grew into my futon and easily let myself fall asleep. But right now I was completely different. There wasn't a single ember of warmth from those weak street lights. Right now I was unconnected to any time spent with my family, and there was neither warm food nor the time to allow myself to sleep. My body exposed to the cold rain. I knew that I simply had to spam myself to accomplish what I must. I realised how timid, how cowardly I was becoming. For what purpose did I need to kill someone so badly that it was worth feeling this terrible? I lost sight of that purpose. As late, the fastest, most fun-awaited way of saving Satoko, and executed it without hesitation. That man was dead, he was gone. He would never ever hurt Satoko again. We all thought frantically for days on end about Satoko's problem, and finally, with no options, we gave up. And I solved it in one night. Bruh, this dude's speedrunning. Can't believe it. New world record. Saves Satoko %. But myself, without anyone's help. Right about now, Satoko would be making dinner for her uncle, despite not knowing when he'd return. And she might not be. She might be spending the night trembling in fear of whether he'd yell at her for how it tasted. But her uncle wouldn't come home. She wouldn't have to fear his wrath, nor let him make her feel sad. I see. I did it. I successfully saved Satoko. I suppose. All I've been thinking about for a long time was killing that man, and I forget the feeling that it was actually all to save her. Yeah. I suppose he just got too caught up in things. I mean, it is a very intense and just disturbing thing he actually has done. So it doesn't really surprise me. I did something good. Oh god, that laugh. You can't tell if it's one of those, you know, like one of the laughs that are just from the demons, or if it's like a genuine laugh, you know, just genuine laugh of happiness. But god, I mean, it's actually kind of insane that he hates this person so much that he thinks that murdering them was a good thing to do. That's right, I did something good, didn't I? I felt hot tears coming from my eyes, and that's when I realised that the exhaustion I'd been feeling was actually guilt. The blade of guilt for a while now had just been scarping away with its tip, hurting my heart. God, that is such a genius metaphor. But like, anyway, I think I'm actually kind of surprised about this though, because like, even no matter how much of a bad person Tepe was, like, if you cannot just do what you did, like kill somebody in such a brutal way and not feel any guilt. Like, I'm sorry, that's just impossible. It has to happen sometime. It hurts so bad I couldn't stand it. It was throbbing painfully. It hurt so much. It was painful that I cried. I cried tears of joy, saying Satoko. I didn't know why really anymore. I just cried. My tears fell and fell. Where even is he at the moment? Is he where? I don't know. Is he in the shed? As I stood there for a while, coming to terms with those warm tears, my heart was comforted a little. What am I about a Katie? That's enough. There's nothing to regret or feel ashamed about. Both my body and mind were thoroughly exhausted, and that was a fact. It was only natural I couldn't feel anything. Even tomorrow, the day after that, I might not be able to see or feel anything for a while. But there was one more thing that was true. There was the indisputable fact that I had saved Satoko. One day we will surely be rewarded. One day I'll be proud of how distressing an enterprise I had undertaken to get Satoko's smile back. And so that I could wait all and so that I could wait for the day. I had to put the finishing touches on this night. I left it undone. Everything I'd accomplished today would be naught. If alright. I looked back up at the sky, which didn't look like it would stop raining anytime soon. Then I rubbed my eyes and summoned forth energy from my core again. How long did I plan on spacing out? This isn't that benign dreaming. Oh god no. Someone could find that corpse this very moment. That pessimistic thought was the proof that this very natural emotion of fear had returned to me. As I allowed the fear to spur me onwards, I went to look for the other shovel and the lantern inside the storage room. It was fortunate I remember what it looked like around the street light. The body was near. Oh, right. With how dark it was quite possible I wouldn't have to be able to look for it either. I didn't realise that when I left the place that the idea of memorising the spot hadn't even come to my mind. And that's why I had to call it fortunate that I had managed to get back to the body like this. The corpse was now located in a big muddy puddle. Half the thing already sunk into the swamp like a pool of water. I only realised afterwards, but there was an unused irrigation channel right nearby, clogged with fallen leaves and dirt, and there was rainwater flowing in through there. Oh shit, is he thinking what I'm thinking at the moment? My suit had been washed in water for a long time now, so without any hesitation I stepped into the puddle. Luckily the whole muddy stream washed it away. Oh. I couldn't leave any slight traces like bloodstains. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, the rain was like a blessing from heaven. Yeah, it was just kind of weird, like, you know, you have mud and then you put your feet in it. It's just something you'd never do. I mean, to be fair, I used to do that in, like, when I was really young, because I was bored. And I like wrecking my shoes. I don't care why I did that, but, yeah. I checked around me in pain, with very close attention, and then turned off the lantern. It became pitch black, but my eyes got used to the darkness in a few moments, and once I managed to reach the streetlight on the other side, I was able to make out even faint lights. I saw the shovel into the puddle right next to the car. Wait, so is he using the lantern or is he not? Oh, of course, he's turning off the lantern because he doesn't want to be discovered, you dumbass. I struck the shovel into the puddle right next to the corpse. The ground was even looser here than I thought, and the shovel's tip easily slid inside it. I had to hurry and dig. If I took too much time, I might lose my energy and strength again. It felt like almost digging a hole in the sand of the beach. God. So, that's a nice thing to think, kids. Whenever you go to the beach, think about how Mayabara Keiichi brutally murdered Hojo Teppei. Good thought. It was easy to do, but no matter what, the muddy water kept flowing in, covering the hole. Yeah, the digging wasn't going as well as I'd hoped. But I get that feeling so much. I know entirely what he's talking about as well, like, especially in beach-related circumstances. I dug and the water would go in, so I couldn't get a sense of how deep it was. The only way for me to measure it was to bury my own foot in the mud. I'm thinking just fine. It's alright, don't be disheartened. Tick. Occasionally a car would come down on the road and I'd hurry to hide myself in the trees. Everyone was only passing though, they wouldn't have their eyes peeled in this kind of darkness. I understood it logically, but still couldn't help but hide. What I was really scared of wasn't quite the one of the black cars who had coincidentally happened to witness me here. It was the distance I could spot cars from was getting gradually shorter. Oh shit. Yeah, that is bad. At first I noticed the splashing sounds from really far away as cars drove through them. I started noticing them less and less, and with the car that had just passed by I didn't even notice until its headlights were upon. Oh fuck. I found my sense growing duller by the second. Shit. So he's actually been seen by headlights. Well, I mean, like you said, maybe they wouldn't be concentrating in this darkness, but still, that's bad. If somebody were to take a peek in secret as I was burying the body at the worst possible time, maybe I wouldn't even notice. That moment I thought of that, I took a good look all around me. I roused my half-asleep senses and searched for signs of a presence nearby. What if I found out somebody was spying on me from those trees? Oh god, I can never was feeling snarled at me, glaring. If there was, then I dig another hole. I've come this far already in order to achieve perfection. I didn't care how much more I'd have to pay. I didn't know what kind of face I was making at the time, but it was definitely a few further and lower. My 5 senses reaches the conclusion that nobody was present. I didn't breathe a sigh of relief. He can't really breathe a sigh of relief. How long had I been digging this mud out of here? It was deep enough for it to go out to my knees. Fucking hell. Well, I suppose you could fit the body in there, I don't know. Maybe this was enough, maybe I further got seen as a test. That's what I was getting my breathing under control. Despite how much I'd beaten him, I was afraid of touching the ground. So instead I dragged it by the feet to the hole. Oh yeah, that's smart. He doesn't want to get any of the blood on him. It took more than just a waggle, he only tugged to do it. But of course it did, considering this man's weight was easily 80 kilograms. I rallied all my strength and dragged him. At this point, my groundless fears that he might suddenly start moving again and vanish long ago. Oh God, his body fit perfectly into the muddy hole. Oh, damn, it was more than deep enough. Fuck. Alright, let's bury him. Quickly. If I did a perfect job of burying it here, everything would be over. I would hide in that hole. And none of this would have ever happened. When I realised I only had a little farther to go to finish everything, I was racked to a pointless anxiety, like I was in a race against time. It was like I was absorbed in a delusion that if I didn't bury the body quickly, it might come back to life. In any case, in a great rush, I poured mud and dirt into the hole. If I didn't work efficiently, somebody might find me here. Until now, I figured if someone saw, I'd just kill them, but not anymore. I was arrested with such absolute fear that if somebody saw me, it would all be over. No. Oh my God, I can't believe that he actually killed people if they saw him. Fucking hell. So that really shows you just how much this sort of murder of one person, it's like, I don't know, it's just murder one person and then thinking murdering another person of less severity than it actually is. That's what he's probably doing right now. That's how people become killers, man. That really is. As I finished the work off, it was a total mess. Splish, splash, squish, squish, squish. I drew the surface of the shovel across the ground, trying to make it flat. I was completely covered in mud at that point. The rain washed the muddy off my body, but not off my now blackened clothing. My body and my mind were caked with panic, with fear, with rain and sweat and mud. My shoulders heaving, I threw down the shovel and sat down in the mud. I was just so exhausted that I wanted to lie down right here and sleep. No, you can't. It was over this time. For real. It was over. The mud was now on the bottom of the wet dirt. Right this moment, there were traces that this place had been dug up. But the rain flowing muddy water would completely cover it all within moments. No, I suppose. Oh, that is really... I mean, it's actually really good timing that the rain actually existed, because he would have to have done so much more work if there was no rain today. That's actually really well timed. Yes, it was over. I did it. I did it. Motherfucker. And then I fell over backwards, face up in the mud. Raindrops put on my face without mercy, but I didn't care. After staying there for a while, resting my mind, I got up again. It was over, so let's go home. You already buried the whole thing. So now it's like it never happened. It never happened, so there's no reason for me to stay out here and get rained on. I walked to my feet. I wouldn't use a shovel anymore. I considered disassembling it, but I didn't have the strength and my absolute exhaustion. I really need to take it apart anyway. Dragging the shovel behind me, I headed towards the light. I stood up to my bike. It had been laying in the grass by the road. I didn't know how I was going to get the still assembled shovel into the front basket. I put the shovel down the back of my shirt like I'd done with the baseball bat. Oh yeah, that's smart. Unlike the corner of it was on my back, making it very painful. Oh god. Oh, I can imagine that. Plus, if I realise my posture even a little, it will fall out behind me. Alright. Well, it's just like last bit of pushing. Push last bit, and then that really good rest that he can have. And he can go to bed thinking, I've killed a man. Or you can go to bed thinking, like, I've saved one of my best friends, but I've also killed a man at the same time. It's kind of a little bit tricky. I ended up having to carry the shovel in my left hand and run about using only my right hand. Oh my god, this dude, he's not following the rules of the road. Can't believe it. Not only was I in a state of total exhaustion, this was the downpour. One hand on the handlebars, I was swaying to and fro like a drunk. But I didn't care. Even swaying like this, I got a little closer to home every time I pedaled. I saw two lights swaying slowly in front of me. A car was approaching. Oh shit, oh no, I needed to get out of the way. Far from away in the shadows of darkness, a car appeared. Its dazzling lights washed over me. The driver made a short honk of the horn to inform me I was in the middle of the road. Ah, okay, that's nothing that bad then. Okay, that's good. I have to get out of the way. I kept on telling myself but not only was I riding one-handed, I was exhausted, so I couldn't do anything. I meandered about, not going to the right or to the left. The driver decided to swerve out of the way, right in front of me. And without lowering its speed, I steadily came towards him. Oh shit! His outline grew larger in my vision, telling myself again that I really needed to get out of the way. I dragged the handlebars in one direction, then lost my balance and fell over, bike and all. Shit. My whole body splayed out and one foot got caught in the bike. Oh god, this was seriously bad. My drowsiness quickly vanished just as cold sweat broke onto my skin. The driver's seat recklessly spun the wheel to the left, made a counterclockwise U-turn and came right up to me and stopped. The driver's seat door opened and the driver came out. You idiot, what are you doing here? I was pretty sure somebody would yell at me like that. Oh shit. To be fair, Takano's not gonna explain anything to the police. It's actually really not that bad, it's her. There's no way she's gonna go to the police. No way. Oh mate, look who it is. It was a woman's voice, and one I knew. I lifted my face off the ground and looked at her. Takano-san. Good evening. Really very pretty. It was raining far too hard to see the moon. Takano-san unfolded an umbrella and smiled as she spoke. That smile was for some reason uncanny, like she seemed right through me. Oh shit, out of all the people I could have met, I got the sudden feeling this was the one I wanted to see the least. What are you doing now so late? I was soaked and covered in mud. And no umbrella either. What is that? A shovel? Oh, see you coming by a car. She wouldn't have known what I was just doing, and yet she smiled as though she knew everything. Calm down, Mama, Kizzy. She always made that mysterious looking smile, remember? Don't let her wonder anything, let her dig, lest you dig your own grave.
噂じゃあなた
you
ゴルフクラブで野球に参加したそうだけど
Oh yeah.
そのシャベルも
Is that what the shovel's for too? Using it as an umbrella?
傘の代わりってわけかしら
I suppose you could, yeah. Tell a good lie. If I could just do that, things would work out. When I was with Lena, to go digging the treasure with the dam, we forgot this.
これを、それをこの土砂降り
家を出た時は来るとは思いませんでしたので I didn't think it would rain, so Oh, I've been running for a while then. You've been out for quite some time, haven't you? Well, yes, I was kind of running around. Even so, you came from that direction, didn't you? The dam is on the opposite direction, you know? Oh, shit. There's a fatal flaw there. Fuck, Takano-san was clearly aware that something exceedingly abnormal was happening with me. And as she played her weird little word games, she was enjoying driving me into a corner. Maybe she had a vague guess just from the situation of what I'd been doing. My timing really sucked to run into her of all people at all times. At the very end, I could only be frustrated by my terrible luck. I'd done so much in the end, was literally right around the corner. So why, at the very, very end, did I run into her of all people? What do you think, Maya Badagesi? You're still holding something that could be a dangerous weapon. Will you silence Takano-san? No. Don't. Even if it would be simple to kill Takano-san, dealing with the car, she coming afterwards would be an issue. Yeah, that too. I couldn't drive a car, it was completely different from a motorbike. But even if the car was here, as long as there was no proof I killed her. Yes, into night downfall, without any prior planning, all by coincidence, hit and run. As long as I didn't drop any handkerchiefs with my initials on them, they would never knew I killed her. A black flame quietly smouldered and raged in the core of my body. God. Oh my god, Casey can't kill Takano. If she dies, then like, not only is it, because the thing is, this is just a, if he actually did this would be sort of like the crime after the main crime had happened. this would be the one that would be thought out less and just planned less, so he's so much more likely to get caught. And secondly, like, it will be a lot harder as well. I mean, he's so tired, he won't be able to do what he did with Deadbear at all. Has a scary look. Did I teach you 10 minutes? Takamura-san started to laugh by herself, then thankfully stopped talking about it. But the dark clouds in my mind didn't go away. Leaving that aside, how long have you done would you mind moving out of the way? If I moved, she would leave. So I tried to get the bicycle up and out of the way, but then twisted my ankle in it and fell over. Oh shit. There was a sharp pain in the ankle I twisted. This is nonsense. A sprained ankle now? Oh my, are you alright? Did you twist your ankle? Oh god. Takamura-san squats down and take a good look at my ankle. I keep running. She compares it to my facial expression, apparently trying to gauge how bad the wound is. Can you stand? Oh god. I didn't expect to, but I couldn't even stand up. Oh god. It was all I could do to shamelessly wriggle on the ground like a caterpillar. Takamura-san looked at her watch, then at her car, and after thinking for a moment, opened the passenger seat door. Oh damn. Wow. And then gave me a shoulder to stand up with. I'll take you home. I do feel bad too. This is almost like I hit you. Oh, I'm sorry. Leave you there. It's a good thing I'm a nice person. Yeah, I suppose. No, but yeah, that as well. Nobody good has ever called themselves a nice person, but that would have been a terrible thing to say. Somebody holding up to me like this. I took Takamura-san's hands and sat down in the passenger seat. Takamura-san went around the back and looked on the bike on the ground. I don't suppose we could take this bicycle home tomorrow. I could clearly tell from her face that she thought it would be a pain, since it would be heavy and it would get her car dirty. But my bag had the name Mahabara written on it. I couldn't leave it out here like this. Well, can you tell Mahabara in the car? I said we need it. The trunk is already full. If I put it in the back seat, it will get the seat stolen in the mud. Well, given how you know it was really dirty, I suppose. Oh, please. Oh, that's so lucky. I turn to the back seat and see someone's folding bicycle there already. Still look big enough to fit my bag in there as well. My expression reflected my thoughts, and that exact thought seemed to get through to her. Oh wow, I'll put it in here for you. Oh, he is lucky. Wow, I'll be really nice, but just pretend like that. Takamura-san continued with her main jokes, but she hoisted my bike and loaded it to the back seat for me. The main jokes were one thing, but couldn't she do something about that eerie smile of hers? And even more importantly than the bike, I didn't want to leave the shovel out here. Oh no. Yeah, the shovel could be directed to it is a very sorry there wasn't another available, but could you get my shovel too? Takamura-san could clearly do this. That's fine with me. Is it important? The more I thought, the worse it gets for me. Shit. That's how I felt, so I didn't bother. I had to answer her. Eventually, I asked about myself as Takamura-san gave a long shrug and sighed. He made such a mean face. And Takamura-san brought over the shovel that was lying in the middle of the road. I just like I never got let go of it again. Takamura-san was one of a puzzled look. Damn. Okay, let's be off. Mahabara-kin, you live in the Mahabara mansion, don't you? I wonder. A Mahabara living at a Mahabara mansion. What? That's kind of weird. Can't lie. Why does everybody call my house the Mahabara mansion? Because it's actually magic. Must be nice to be rich. I just voted Takamura-san pulled the handbrake and stepped on the gas. After making a skillful U-turn using the shoulder of the road, she steadily increased in speed. From the rear view mirror, the cursed place seemed to melt into the darkness. Oh my god, so he's finally done it. Read. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you. What was that? Takamura-san suddenly tried to say something nice to me, but thoughtlessly I didn't catch it. Look in your head, Takamura-san said the same thing one more time. Oh, fuck boy. How long was it buried? Fuck. Oh my god. She was probably the car that had the headlights on. If she knows. I thought my heart would beat out on my chest if I didn't let it show. But I didn't let it show. But my lungs were squeezed tight and I couldn't breathe. What are you talking about? When burying bodies in the mountains, leaves, you have to bury it very deep because wild dogs will often smell the dogs in detail. Some human moment wild dog brings back in his mouth leads to an incident being uncommon. The police head out to a stretch of mountains. This actually happens pretty often, you know. Fuck. Oh my god. Pound, pound, clank, clank. Huge rustabout started ringing in my head. Had I buried it so deep that I could say it absolutely wouldn't be found? The answer was no. I was in such a rush to bury him and get it over with. I couldn't deny having possibly buried it too close to the surface. No way, that's not. Anyway, this woman, how does she know? She just passed by here in car by coincidence, and we ran into each other by coincidence. If she had been watching the entire thing from the trees on the one side left, she came back in her car. It didn't make logical sense. No, I get what you mean. So then why? Higurashi. That's it, you need to kill her. No, you can't. My entire body reawakened and I can feel my pupils dilate. I couldn't possibly beat her to death with a shovel in such a small car. Yeah, that too. Then I'd use my hands and strangle her. But she was driving right now. And her prince as well. And his prince as well. They would get all on her. Somehow not a very good idea. But she was driving right now. If I strangled her, we might get into an accident. Yeah, he's just falling on bad choices after this. Like, everything is just spiraling into worseness, really. What's gonna happen? Then suddenly Tatarigoroshi turned and looked at me. What, nobody would talk? And for a moment I was surprised. What was she talking about? It would seem we're not a very good match. Tatarigoroshi seemed disappointed with his returning her gaze ahead. I repeated the words she said a few times in my head and finally realised that she meant, yeah, it's enough kind of joke. I didn't know whether it was really a joke, but I wouldn't be able to fool her no matter how many lies I told. Right now, with her driving the car like this, I couldn't kill her. I would have an even harder time doing it when we got back to my house. I remember we met. That would have been my best chance, and we missed it so easily at her. No. Oh, I shouldn't. One murder is already enough for a night, don't you think? After that, Tatarigoroshi didn't say a single word. The car was completely buried in an almost suffocating silence. What kind of woman had I run into? With everything that happened today, I managed to pull it off, and at the very end of it all, I just had to go home and go back to sleep. What bad luck. As my sleeping gradually overtook me, the anxiety I felt steadily started to matter less and less. Is this why I'm Higurashi? You probably should not leave this woman alive. Right now I'm tired. Oh. There he is. She stepped on the brakes and then chose against my seatbelt. That woke me up. I thought I must have fallen asleep by accident. Alright, there we are. Home sweet home, I suppose. I looked out the window and there was a big building with a faint lights on. It was really dark out, but I knew immediately it was my house. I ran into the folks for you. Would you mind the place for a few moments while I walk? Don't make fun of me, please. Besides, look, I'm fine. I can walk by myself. Oh my, you were such pain before that you had to get me to carry you. Did you just want Oh my god. I've killed somebody, now get me bitches. That's what he's thinking. Did you want to realise he's been nice to you? Bruh, when the Sasuke Tatarigoroshi spoke, she left the car and opened up her umbrella. The sound of falling raindrops was fierce as always. I carefully reached down and rubbed the ankle I twisted. There was still some pain and a little weirdness, but they weren't that bad anymore. Rather than being happy about how light the wound was, I first regretted this whole thing. If I hadn't twisted my angle, I could have still taken the option of killing Tatarigoroshi right then or there. Or you could have just not have gone into contact with Tatarigoroshi. She could have gone to wherever she was planning to go. You could have gone to your blooming house. There probably wasn't much doubt that Tatarigoroshi was convinced I was involved in some sort of crime. If she knew about everything happening this other then she might have even guessed I killed somebody. Could click Tatarigoroshi opened the passenger side door for me. You really sure you don't need my shoulders? I wouldn't mind doing it for you again. How are you going to explain that to your parents? This woman's like 20, 25. I ignored her and answered by getting out of the car myself. The register was pretty intense. I got my bicycle out of the back seat. I was a bit curious who the other bike belonged to, but I didn't matter right now. Probably Tomitake. I let Tatarigoroshi hold the umbrella over me and then pushed my bicycle up to the front door. Thank you very much. I'll be fine now. My goal had so much earlier and it still did, but it aggravated me that it hadn't even been that bad. It really was seriously terrible luck. Yeah. Alright, I'll be leaving now. Keep it a secret that we had a nice evening drive together by ourselves, okay? Especially when Jiro-san. Oh my god, yeah. Jiro-san? Oh, she meant Tomitake-san. I suppose she goes by his first name. His full name must be Jiro Tomitake then. And then, the other bike, the folding one in the backseat that I didn't care about at first, suddenly came to mind. Hey, excuse me, Ralph. I was on my right. On the day before yesterday, as I walked near the dam, half asleep, Tomitake-san had talked to me, and the bicycle I've been riding, it was the bicycle in the back belongs to Tomitake-san, doesn't it? Tatarigoroshi-san's eyes, I think they sharpened for a moment. And why do you think that? I saw it when I met him before. The same stood out to me. But wouldn't that be odd? Don't you think it's possible for this to be Jiro-san's bike? Oh, Tatarigoroshi, her hair elegantly fluttering, peers into my eyes. Well, there were no bed and breakfast in Namizawa. Jiro-san would need to be staying in town. Is that so? Well, I guess that's right. You can't really welcome down to Namizawa, can you? I suppose that is pretty odd. And there were no buses either. You at least need a bus. You at least need a bus. Oh, right. She didn't need me to tell that. That's why Jiro-san was riding a bike. For Jiro-san's bicycle to be stolen by my car and him not there, that would be strange, wouldn't it? What the fuck? Well, let's just get to the conclusion that he's at his house and nothing's happened, please. It means Jiro-san was in Namizawa without a bike. I'd have to have left Jiro-san somewhere, but his bike in the car, wouldn't I? It wouldn't make sense. I suppose Tatarigoroshi made a rise like a hawk. Unfortunately, I don't really understand what was so odd. What about that is all that he told me, but Tomitake-san friends, I don't really think it would be strange for there to be some sort of reason to add his bicycle in the car. But it would be. Well, I mean, Jiro-san's bicycle being in different places in Namizawa wouldn't make sense. And for those reasons, it means this bicycle can't be his. Yeah, do you understand that? And Tatarigoroshi-san's roundabout way of talking about was hard to comprehend, but that eeriness I could feel, that vague dreadfulness, I didn't like it at all. But the most wildest thing about it to me warned me not to pry. That's my bicycle. Ah, right. Jiro-san picked it out for me, so I can't deny that it looks similar. Oh, I see now. I thought it looked similar. You and I never saw each other tonight. And now she was talking about something completely different. What are you talking about? We never saw each other tonight. God, her voice. She's just that one sort of, you know, really edgy conspiracy theorist, if you ask me. God, I say that not knowing what to say, and Takono-san repeated an eerie, succinct phrase to me again.
私とあなたは恋に出会わなかった。私とあなた出会わなかった。
You and I never saw each other tonight. Something cold and unpleasant crawled on my spine. I knew because I killed the person with my own hands before I came to the conclusion that only I had one chance to be this woman to keep her quiet, and I couldn't hesitate, so I could tell that she'd arrived at the very same conclusion. My instincts warned me again. I wish I'd never met this woman. The first sense I could well smell drifting from this woman was no doubt the exact same sense that I was giving off right now. This very peculiar aspiration, the lack of uncertainty that took King of Humans' life for a purpose, one that only those who have risen above everything had. Actually, maybe I should have called it nausea. It meant, and I didn't know how to explain this very well, but Takono-san was the same as me, and I thought it was somebody who shouldn't have been here. Interesting. Somebody I couldn't have let anybody know was there. Somebody who nobody had wanted to see. Would have wanted to see, so yeah. And now that we could calmly pretend as though we never met. Yes, which meant that just like I wanted to have nothing else to do with her, she didn't want to have anything else to do with me either. And she too wanted to make it something we never met. So meeting Takono was probably like probably maybe like the best person you could have possibly met. Both of us wished for the same thing. Our desires were the same, which meant Takono-san's suggestion was extremely practical, and I couldn't outright refuse. If that's my view, then sure, whatever. You know, I didn't mean this night. You're right, that would be the best for you too, wouldn't it? Why do you think that? Are you seriously asking me that? You don't think that on your own, boy? She cut me off with the condescending word boy, right in front of my house, in a place most unsuited to killing, and yet there was a frozen burst of blood coming from both of us. Oh God. No. Oh, I just hope he doesn't make it. I just hope he doesn't make the decision. Like, he can't. I mean, not only getting caught for a crime would be bad enough, but like, having his parents see it as well. Could you imagine that? I would be killed right here, right now. Yeah, then I should definitely be in her as we passed each other. A damp, greasy sweat broke out on my body. That's fine. If you want me, you can come any time. And when I made up my mind, she shook her head elegantly and turned on her heel. Good, I am a kind person after all. What was good? How? Because he was a kind person. What was that? What was that it? I didn't get it. Takono-san got into her car. We didn't exchange any words of passing. I had performed a massive feat, the killing of Satoru's uncle, and yet I didn't feel any accomplishment. On the holy night of Higurashi-sama's curse, on which the taking of another's life was allowed, on the terribly raining night when the demons wandered as agents of Higurashi-sama's will, the demons were never supposed to meet, but suddenly they did. Demons parted ways triumphantly. There was no reason for them to fight, both their objectives had already been accomplished. With the rain hitting me like a waterfall, my eyes went with Takono's arms through the car window. The female demon, her mouth twisted into a distorted, fearless smile. It was too late to kill her. Far too late. No, don't fucking think that. Just don't kill her in the first, and don't have the temptation to kill her in the first place, man. Far too late. That first moment, the very first moment we saw each other, had been my best chance. He's only thinking about the murder. He's not thinking about like how difficult it would have been to sort of hide the corpse and everything, and how incriminating it would look if he just killed her in the middle of the road and the car as well. Don't forget that. And now that we are about to like this, I was acutely aware of it. I should have not let her live. Oh God. She beat her home quite quickly. Then I drove away into the deluge. And the one woman who really knew what happened tonight anticipated into the dark. As long as you were alive, this night would never really end. Just get into an accident, I thought to myself. In the downpour, slip on some mud or something and fly face first into a tree and die. That wasn't a delusion, no wild flight of fantasy. It was an earnest wish. Yes, it was a command. Oh shit. Die. I'll give you a mouth shut for eternity, because I have no doubt you're wishing me to die all the same. My eyes upon her faded emptily as dog on the sun's tail lights disappeared into the utter darkness. The car's lights were completely out of sight now. Even the sound of the engine faded into the sound of the heavy rain and was inaudible now. I too turned on my heel to draw the curtains of this insane night to open the front door and end it all. I began walking to the monster front door. I was covered in mud and making a squishing sound with every step I took. Oh fuck. God, he's gonna have to shower, he's gonna have to wash. Oh, he probably came home at like, not everything is over, obviously. Squish, squish. Don't worry, Mom. Squish, squish. She'll die. Squish, squish. I ran away as miserable as she is. I throw her into her something. Throw her into some flames alive and let her dance until she's buried to a crisp. Oh God. I'll burn her into ashes in the fires of hell itself until she's roasted as much as she deserves. It's very interesting, that thing before, like the well, you think about her being burned to a crisp is really interesting, because that's what happened in the previous I was about to say Miyakashi, what's it called, Tatarigoroshi chapter. I wish, I really do. Squish. Huh? Just now I hadn't taken a step, and yet a footstep. Without emotion, I turned around. If there was a footstep that wasn't my own, then it was obvious someone else was behind me. Was somebody else there? I was sick of this. Fuck, that's bad. Whoever it was, I was sick of everything tonight. This time I would kill them. I would kill them without a second thought. I wouldn't hesitate to turn around and dig another hole. But fortunately there was nobody there. I wasn't going to have to kill I wasn't going to have to kill any people tonight. Any more people. This night I couldn't handle any more of it. Even if I heard an extra footstep each time I stopped, I put it down to me just as being tired. No, you can't. That's not the case though. It's Mr. Oyashiro. Oyashiro-sama wants to fucking kill you, mate. Oh God. That is bad news. 5 from hell, victim of the 5th year. God. So, is there anything else? I kind of want to get to the end of the day, you know. First I thought it was just a dream. Yeah, okay, that's probably the next day. Right, I'm going to end it here, man. God, that was... I mean... Every time I think this game can't get better, it just does. Like, genuinely. I fucking love this series. I mean, my God, it is so well written. Like, genuinely, all of this was so fun to read. I mean, it was just really interesting. All of it was perfectly done as well. Like, 0 flaws in the plot. No way. Oh, it's just so fun to read. So interesting. So well made as well. My God, you could... I just love how much they sort of really implement the mental side of everything in when they cry, because it just really sort of... It gives you a sense of attachment and perspective that, for example, the anime would have never given you. I think it's so good. God, I love this game. I really can't wait for tomorrow. I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. Hopefully nothing that bad. Well, when I say that bad, you know, I have a feeling it's just going to be, you know, like the When They Cry. The When They Cry special, the When They Cry classic. Just like, something goes wrong. Make another thing go wrong, then make another thing go wrong, and then before everyone's dead or Katie's dead, make everything go wrong, and boom, then have the blooming chapter end. Because I think we are actually very close to the chapter's end. I'm actually kind of curious. Hang on a sec. Yeah, so we're probably at the end now. We're probably near the end. I'm kind of interested. Yeah, we're very close to the end. Yeah, so I'm assuming tomorrow is going to be like the last day. Shit, where the day where shit finally ends. It's going to be very interesting to see like what's actually going to happen. And my God, I cannot wait for it. it is kind of a shame I don't really have the energy to do any more tonight, but yeah, I don't. So yeah, gonna leave now, and yeah, really hope you guys enjoyed. So yeah, see ya.